Grand Finals appearance. Now that sounds pretty damn good to me. Welcome to the ESL Pro League Season 12, everybody. You're here just in time for the upper bracket finals. We're going to have Na'Vi and Heroic. You're squaring off on potentially 3 maps. Can the boys in Heroic get it done? Can they continue to impress and, moreover, suppress the problem that is simple?
Oh, don't have to wait long, do we?
GG Barats are as close as they get.
Yeah, I think that's justifiable. And, well, Flamey with the dualies. Double kill at the top of Banana. Flashed in for a bit more. And while Cadian does deal with him, that is a very convincing start here for Na'Vi. And that's the thing. I do think as well, right, this isn't the case that this is like group stage Na'Vi that you're going to be up against anymore. Where, you know, maybe they can stomach a few shortcomings in these matchups. You know, this is going to be prime Na'Vi, a Na'Vi that's trying to reach the grand finals and trying to get there in a very, very dominant fashion. So I think we're in for a treat no matter what. And that pistol round has very much convinced me of that fact. With the dualies coming out, the fast mid play from Boomich, I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of this series has to offer.
On a map that we've really not gotten to see a whole lot of Na'Vi on as of late as well, right? So scary stuff for Heroic in terms of preparation coming into a game like Inferno, but these guys have looked so good individually. Plan has been working for the Danes. And they're back to the apartments in the second round, looking to execute upon A. Motor smoke down and the flashes follow. Electronic in the pit, and blink and you miss it. Na'Vi with 3 kills and no trades back for Heroic. No kills gifted up. Nice grenade combo with the shot from Electronic, and Stound alone on short. This is all falling apart very quickly and even more brutally.
And he's just going to sit back and relax. Which is about all you can do in this situation, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the patience for Na'Vi as well, right? It's very easy to maybe get ahead of yourself and give over a kill here and try and hunt down this last player, but not even Boomich is making that mistake. Tucked into the long corner, spotted, but Stound can't really go anywhere. They're re-aggressing finally, and Simple's going to hit that dome. Na'Vi 2-0 on the CT side. Heroic on full pistols now. That was a force that went nowhere.
Something that is very, very cool, though, about Na'Vi is when we have seen them play Inferno, and this has actually been the case for kind of everything outside of these 3 maps that we see them frequent a lot, they've been pretty secretive at revealing what maps they're comfortable on. Inferno has always either been the map pick of an opponent or a third map decider, and Na'Vi actually haven't lost it in the 2 times they've played it. Those wins being over G2, who picked into it against Na'Vi, and Mouse Sports, who left it in there as a third map decider. And so that's kind of like a cool idea, right? Like, Na'Vi are only ever showing us kind of this handful of maps, and so as a result, they're quite a tricky team to try and play against, as this map veto shows off in quite the big way. You know, I don't really know if the first time these 2 teams played, I think Heroic tried to go a lot off of like stats and what looked to be weak maps for Na'Vi, and obviously that didn't really work out for them the last time that they played. They faced a loss on Overpass. They went on to win Na'Vi's map pick, funnily enough, and then Na'Vi closed out that series. So we don't really know, like, outside of these few maps, where this Na'Vi squad is at in terms of having like a huge repertoire of games to go off of. And I think that puts them in a really good position.
For Heroic, it has yet to start. Their position, well, very vulnerable one, we'll just say that.
Yeah, they're trapped in the pit stop. No one's changed the tires yet, though.
In fact, they've lost the keys, it seems like. And they're just trying to find them to turn the ignition over. Cadian, the only one with a frag for his team thus far.
So I don't think he's doubling it. Not in this round. The burst fire is out. Na'Vi, those are some clean rounds, right? They have just slaughtered 3 rounds in a row with 1 death, as you said. So, and he's going to be good.
And, you know, I thought that burst might come through in a big way, but also I knew it wasn't going to come through in any sort of way, actually. 3-0, Na'Vi off to a good start on the map pick of Heroic. Again, we're trying to send some folks into the grand finals here. Not really sure who it's going to be just yet, but let us know using hashtag ESL Pro League. You see it right there on the right in case I have spoken that a little too fast for you. Use that across any social media platform you want, but Twitter is going to be where you get our attention. Weapons in this round for Heroic.
Boost up on the short side. I like this one as well. It's quite the annoying angle to deal with. You've got to fully commit to the swing to even get Perfecto into a fight, and he's supported by 2 more Na'Vi players. Heroic, they do tend to Molotov the short position, so we'll see if they go back to that as Na'Vi stall things out in the middle. They've done the same over towards B, even flashing Boomage back in after the smoke blooms. Cadian does hear it and knows that he's crossed, but the smoke again denies Heroic more info, more vision, and more control. They're fine with that. They'll group back up towards middle with the bomb. Tess is in the apartments, and Na'Vi about to walk into this porch side setup.
Whoa. This is going to be interesting. Perfecto makes first contact. Now they know he's here, and he's seen the man in Boiler as well. Simple there to help him out, but does get dropped after 1. This is where Electronic swings out and down underneath the patio. The nade is good for Electronic, and even more coming his way. It falls to Stown in a 1-on-2, who has at least got that trade and secured the A site. Can now get this bomb down, right? But 1v2, Boomich and Flamey on the other side. Flamey's been having some great games as of late as well for Na'Vi. So this is not the easiest of spots to be in. Now, despite all these guns being down at top mid, no one has traded out here for Na'Vi. They're just looking to take this fight and not give away that position. And now that they deal the killing blow, they retrieve the AWP, they grab the guns from mid, and they get the defuse as well. That's a very, very good round for Na'Vi, and a bit unfortunate for Heroic as they walk into that short stack.
Yeah, the only reason they even get a bomb plant there is because Electronic, after killing the 4th player out through middle, turns around to look at apps, right? He considers, surely they're not 5-man crunching mid, but they were. Stan was just a little late. I like the setup. Even though Simple gets very little done, he draws attention away from Heroic for Electronic to activate. And that's something that we even have seen Heroic run on their CT side, so Na'Vi using their own tricks against them. Back to guns, though. Bomb plant does facilitate it. No AWP yet for Cadian. Had one in the previous, but it's been yoinked right out of his hands.
Also, it's Simple's birthday.
Ooh.
And everyone wants to lock in a grand final on their birthday, right? That's surely how that works.
Happy birthday, Sasha. Shout out the #1 in the game. Cadian, great B pick. Flames caught with nades out. Oh no, he's getting chased. The spray is messy, but Cadian will complete it. And Heroic, a double entry out of nowhere. You always commit to B if you get 2 picks that fast. Na'Vi might just have to save, but Simple has enticed them back in with that kill through the smoke. No one even moving out of the pits, right? Nico still in the apartment, still selling a fake. And in fact, even if he dies, it's too little, too late for Na'Vi to give the round a go. Did Perfecto spot Nico? It looked like he did. Simple's very attuned to the apartments right now. All 3 players set up for it. And even though there's a feet sticking out, Nico can't get a kill. Maybe it's up to Electronic to aggress, but doesn't want to offer up any more guns than Na'Vi have to. Meanwhile, they're pushing in from short as well. Tess is on the hunt. Uh-oh.
About to get a little warm. But it's cooked to Perfecto. It's going to be a round for Heroic. Step in the right direction. Simple hold on to the op. That's the big question. Sees Poor up, goes for a nose coat. What a mad lad. Almost gets knifed, too. All it would have taken was a left click right there. And that would have been all she wrote. Simple getting knifed early in the series. Not something you see all the time, but surely if you want to kick fire and throw gas on it, go right ahead.
I feel like if you do that to Simple, it just makes him even more lethal, right? Even more dangerous. You don't want to fire this guy up any more than he already is.
Watch this.
Imagine getting knifed on your birthday.
Happy birthday, Simple. Happy birthday.
It's unreal. I didn't realize this, and this is my bad, but Simple was born in 97. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
real
wild.
is.
Where were you born, Harry?
Like 2008.
Oh no!
Nice.
Trapped between 2 mollies. They got to smoke it. Na'Vi had no choice there if they wanted to escape. Heroic could have been up ult mid. They were not. But Tessus has been in the apartments the entire time. So Harry, happy 12th birthday to you at the same time.
And happy birthday to Hugo. Because everyone gets to have a birthday around here.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. Happy birthday, Trace.
Happy birthday, Hugo.
You too, man.
When is your birthday, Hugo?
Can't even remember at this point.
Interesting. Well, we'll get back into the action here for Heroic. Hugo fact checks himself. It's a new process, actually.
Got the passport out. Right now, Heroic, they're the ones booking a flight, though, and the destination, this B-bomb site. Boomich shooting, getting out alive. The nade could be good, but Heroic jump and dodge and weave away. Smoke down for Na'Vi. The spam is back. If they got a kill, they could have gone. But now, Na'Vi's still committing deep inside of A. They know at 30 seconds, Heroic could turn around, but that doesn't look to be the case. It's a B commit.
Yeah, need to start to see some of these rotations. Boomich lines up too, and NiKo's flash does not help his teammates out. In fact, it blindsides them. Boomich gets a full reload off behind the pillar. NiKo, luckily enough, will be there to secure this B site for Heroic. But that is a stellar little defense from Boomich. Now leaving NiKo and Tessez 2-on-3 with the bomb down. Tessez yet to put up a kill in this game. Back of the site. Has this crossfire set up with NiKo. And he's waiting patiently. Tries to swing on a simple, but he's not missing a beat. And so Tess says, it's all eyes on him. Back of the site, 1v3 needed. Swings on out, but not going to win any awards for that. As Simple is there to lock it in. 5 on the board for Na'Vi.
And you see right there the game plan. Put Tessus out in front of the fight. Let him fight first. Maybe distract a little bit. And that could have given the opportunity to swing, but... Or excuse me, Tessus would have been hidden behind Nubox. So kind of the opposite of what I just said at the same exact time.
NiKo, it was the one going for the fight on Coffin. You're right, but like I don't know how Simple hits that. He's so quick with the AWP. What we are seeing from today and yesterday in the Na'Vi game is how hungry Simple is on these retakes, right? He's always good to drop his AWP, grab a rifle, and go in first. Fearless player, and for good reason. He finds Tessus at the back of the site, and Na'Vi keep up this CT side. Broken by for Heroic. They have to go for it, but a Tech 9 and a Galil, far from perfection. Stalling out this AWP for yet another round. Cadian does keep cash for it, though. Simple's already been showing up in a big way. Back on this A site right now. As Heroic set up nades.
Oh, Simple, there's one. Electronic here to help him out. Tries to flick on down. They do get up through short, but Perfecto now playing in tandem with his teammates at this A bomb site. Simple. Taking a peek back in, they lose Cadian over here in CT, and this is just a complete and utter shutdown of the short play. Na'Vi going on to 6. And looking dominant as ever. This like duo as well, of Simple and Electronic, man. They've certainly had their ups and downs throughout 2020. I think, you know, after Katowice, when events went to online, that's where we saw the first few cracks emerge for Na'Vi. But that's one of the things that I think would make this team's story even more interesting, is that this was a team who, out of all the teams, really, like all the LAN teams, had like the longest tenure of just kind of only playing LAN events. I think it was 2018, right? It was their last online game when everything turned around. And you could really see that in the individuals for Na'Vi. And now here they start making one hell of a run here in the Pro League, dropping, what, 1 series to Ents thus far along the way.
Like everybody else in the season thus far.
Pretty much.
Just lose to Ents for giggles.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't surprise either of you for me to say that Simple is the #1 HLTV rated player of this event so far. That's pretty standard when we see Na'Vi in tournaments. The only other player in this series that's on that top 8 is Stown coming in at #6. So no surprises there either, but Simple back in middle with a pick and looking for more.
Yeah, once you start hearing that AWP go off, if you're Heroic, you do get a little bit rattled. You don't want to feed this guy, but then again, his teammates are perfectly capable of backing him up too. Backing him up. Words.
And they're going to back up. They're going to concede middle here with other than Simple on long, knowing that he'll likely get smoked if Heroic want this position, and they certainly seem to be lining that up now. The rest of his team falling back to the site. Simple not dealt a long corner smoke, but an arch and library one. That allows Heroic to run the path. Simple can't hang around if he wants to stay alive. Those pistols can be ferocious, and Electronic in the pit bites back. Simple waiting for the spam, firing off his AWP as well, and Electronic is going to save him again. Bomb drop. Cadian is in CT, but traded by Flamey, and Heroic unable to get more than 1 kill at a time, it seems. We commended them for their trading last night, but right now it's Na'Vi running the show, 7-1.
Yeah, it was a little more fluid last night from the side of Heroic. But for Na'Vi, I mean, you've got a round here where Heroic don't really have anything invested. You get the pick early on in the round, and everything else just sort of falls into place. Now the big Akbai. The AKs. Coming out for Heroic, 5 deep.
Cadian could have got the AWP, but it would have left him with almost no nades, maybe a flash, and that's it. So I imagine that's some of the reason why he's buying up a rifle now, and potentially the pace that we'll see for Heroic in this round.
That's a good nade. It's gonna land right at the feet of Nico. I'm pretty sure they heard the Molotov hitting somebody in there, so they're giving it extra attention.
You got to get that molly that Flamey threw quite right, because it can explode midair if it takes too long to land. Na'Vi know their lineups, and they've got things on lockdown right now. 5 on 5, but the damage has been dished out all across Heroic's T side. Bomb is still top B, so while Heroic might be setting sights towards A and making some noise, it's likely they're going to come back towards this B site later in the round. That or the bomb rotates now, and that's already seeming to be the case. Re-aggression for Na'Vi, finding nothing. Will that be misinformation as Heroic group 5 up in middle?
Oh, they're tiptoeing towards someone you do not want to tiptoe towards. Is Smoke gonna go down, but Simple, still a threat. Jiggle, they get one shot out of him, and how is that only a leg? Orup, he's got legs where his nipples are, and now Cadian falling. Electronic down in the pit, having to try and do all of this single-handedly, and he has done a lot of damage, dropping the bomb. Electronic on a tear, and almost another. Does finally get dealt with, but Flamey was able to trade that out, and it's left us down in a 1v2. This is a repeat of one of these early rounds in the half, with Stown once again having to clutch it out versus these 2 B rotators. Holding for the long peek from Flamey, and does get it, but Boomich could trade here and now. A quick flick from Stown as this 1v1 almost drawing to a close. 2 bullets for Stown. He's got to make them count, and he can't get away with it. Defuse coming in for Boomich. And Na'Vi, 8 on the board.
Oh, maybe the nerves are setting in for Heroic, right? You can see the pressure in that 1-on-2. Stown getting clipped on the wall, decides for the molly, and then against it, misses one of the final 2 bullets. If he hits them both, it's a kill. And I don't know how that's not for Simple, right? Very fast stuff for Borb. He has been excellent for Heroic inside of Pro League so far. And yeah, great hold for Electronic, man. He stalls things out so long that allows those 2 B rotates to actually win the round for Na'Vi. Excellent hold. If he doesn't put up 3 there, that's likely a second round for the Danes, but right now they're still sitting around 1. Na'Vi haven't even needed to run this triple B setup either. It's not like they've been throwing heavy utility into Banana every round. It's simply been one Molotov to stop Heroic from running up the top of B, but maybe that's something Heroic can exploit later on a faster B approach, dropping a smoke on the molly and committing with spawn side execute.
Well, Stan taking a big stand in this round. He takes down Boomich over here on the B site, leaves it a little bit more vulnerable than usual. Flamey with the AUG has caused enough of a concussion there for Cadian, taking his dome piece away. And we're going to see this B bomb site go away as well with a bomb plant. Perfecto has an inkling someone might be at A, but his spidey senses tingle the wrong way.
Ooh. There we go. Flamey dealing with the first man in. Nico crossing, a lot of time ticking away here from Na'Vi. So they've got to go fast now and deal with Nico. Stown not able to clutch it again. And so Na'Vi just racking up this round count at 9 to their name.
And the retake right there is so pristine. I mean, this is obviously them going in sort of 1 by 1, but also simultaneously through the smoke. Their angles are lining up so that they can get the trades they need. There's a reason they're sitting 9-1 currently. It's all right there inside of your pudding, Harry.
One of the things that must feel great about this as well is, like, for the longest team, you know, Danish CS in the form of Astralis was like the bane of Na'Vi. Like, those were the guys like gatekeeping the first places at every single tournament. And yeah, man, this ain't Astralis, it's Heroic. But still, they've been on such an insane run and have beat the likes of Astralis at this event, right? And so now to just be completely and utterly wiping the floor with them, that's got to be a real feel-good feeling for a guy like Simple.
Especially how, you know, competitive that series was between these exact 2 teams in the group stage. It went the distance. It went close maps. Right now, Na'Vi on Heroic's pick are dealing them a dirty hand. Perfecto backs up of short, and he gets away with his life. More damage done to Borup. And Nico gets picked first. It's simple on the AWP. Back for more. Can't hit the flick, but it's still going to be a man advantage up for Na'Vi with Electronic not getting checked. He sprays, he prays, but it's Perfecto to bail him out with one. Stown trading again. It's repeat for Stown. He's got to do it this third time as he's left in the clutch versus Flame. He couldn't get it over the line in the previous time, but Flamey going for a different wraparound now. Could Stown play the smoke? The bomb's planted for long. He's going towards the short side, and Flamey could catch him in the open.
This is Stown's fourth proper attempt at a 1vx clutch, his third inside of this A site, and finally he's given an all right chance to win one, but Flamey cancels him out. And you gotta feel bad for Stown. I feel like we're watching like the same round. It's like a Groundhog Day, you know, just repeating, and he's trying to come up with the right steps. He's trying to come up with answers, and every single time Na'Vi are besting him. Yeah, Borup even said that interview the other day that like Na'Vi just seem like a team that are really good up against Heroic, and yeah, with this scoreline, I'm kind of inclined to agree, right? Like this is a very dominant looking Na'Vi.
This is a Na'Vi who could take the whole tournament right now.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone's disagreeing there. I think, you know, like the biggest challenge right now that we've seen that's left was probably Heroic, and it's not looking too challenging to Na'Vi right about now.
Early days, I'd like to think, but it definitely worries me that this is the map pick of Heroic in the series. Although, well, as often as they do swap. Uh-oh. Simple's here finally. He's not been on this triple B play, but now he won't stay either. Heroic, again, pushing in off the back of a pick. The smoke actually calls them off. Heroic have been very good at capitalizing on the opening kill, but realizing this time that it's Simple, they expect more resistance, and they are right in that assumption. Third rotate even coming through in this 4-on-5, and Heroic have made the perfect call to go back towards A. Perfecto needs to put up a real hold here, and he could just get bypassed.
Ooh. It's a 1-for-1, and now the A site falls into Heroic hands. This might just be a round for the Danes.
About time.
Well, if this is a save, you know, at least that's just kind of paint a picture for how the rest of the tournament's looking, you know. So this is the upper bracket, right? Winner of this goes straight to those grand finals. The loser, they drop on down to play the winner of Astralis and Mouse Sports. Let's just think about the teams that we still have left, right? We got Na'Vi, Heroic, Mouse, Astralis. And for a lot of people, I think they were looking as Heroic, the kind of guys to maybe put Na'Vi through the ringer a bit, you know, try and tire these guys out, see what they can do. And it is feeling a little bit one-sided to begin the night. And then you look down at like that Astralis Mouse battle that's going to be going down. I think a lot of people would say, oh, well, you know, maybe it's the other Danes, maybe it's Astralis who can keep being that kryptonite to Na'Vi as they have been throughout every kind of event where they had that head-to-head take place. And then, like, you think about it even more, though, but one of the more interesting things there for me is that Mouse Sports have bested Astralis in head-to-heads a lot of the time, more so than Astralis have actually won them out. Mouse Sports just seem like kind of the kryptonite to Astralis in that sense. So it's a very, very weird way that these playoffs have kind of come together, you know, with every team facing someone who's just really good up against them in order to reach the playoffs. And that's why it feels like you have to give a lot of credit to whoever does end up securing these grand final spots that are going to be remaining.
10-2. Not slowing down.
Yeah, I think the biggest worry of all of this is we've seen some dominant T sides in this tournament, especially on a map like Inferno. Think of that Na'Vi Mouse Sports game the other night. There was a 13-2 T side for Na'Vi, and then it goes the distance. It goes all the way back. And Na'Vi close it in round 29. Right now, it's not the same case. This is a strong CT side, and Na'Vi look to keep it up. Simple caught on short, has cover from Perfecto, tucked under the balcony, and Cadian swings wide. No trade needed, as Electronic is smoked off as well. Through the smoke, he finds Tessis. Simple stops one on long, but he gets pinched from the apartment. Electronic couldn't cover. He was still watching the smoke, and the bomb's back dropped mid. Stown's got to get it. Do they want to commit here? It's not really much else he can do. He's got to get past Electronic to join his team in the site, and they've lost track of the man in question going through the apartments. Do Heroic know?
Oh, hopefully they figure it out, right? They wrap up through short. Boomich is pushed through long into the top of mid while all this madness is going on. And Electronic reroutes in through middle to clear it out from the other side, anticipating that maybe there was someone in the apartment, but there's not for Heroic. Instead, they've got 2 down here in the pit, 1 in the site, and this crossfire can be a tricky one to deal with. A lot of this kind of hinges on Electronic making some kind of play in tandem with Boomich through the apartments and short. flamie does have that flash to try and set them up, but losing Boomich right away, that is a pretty rough hand to get dealt. Because now this pit crossfire is just too deadly for Na'Vi to contend with, and they're going to have to save.
The damage has been done, right? Even though Heroic have been losing a lot of these rounds, think about the amount of one-on-ones that Stound's found himself in. That has chipped away slow and steady against the Na'Vi economy, and the save is definitely the right call if they want to buy up for these last couple of rounds. Still going to leave Heroic with a chance to salvage something in this half, looking at 5 on the T side. It wouldn't be bad after how this begun. But are Na'Vi going to let it slip away that easily? Simple back on the AWP. We got a full buy here for Na'Vi. Cadian's got one of his own as well. So maybe we'll get that head-to-head after all. Cadian is just sprinting. Oh, the barrel, and okay, don't know how Simple gets it, but he does. The AWP is posted up, but he saw the barrel of it, so he knows that Cadian is in this position, not re-peeking. Smoke comes from Perfecto in the corner, and that sends Heroic back.
Yeah, B hasn't necessarily been the kindest to Heroic. They have found the little success that they have had, sometimes banking on that. Looks like they want to try it again. We'll leave Nico over there in the apps by himself. The rest of the Heroic are going to be working their way up banana. Smoke out for Na'Vi. The spammage there, but no landage on the Boomich.
Yeah, and that lurk of Nico and apps keeps players over towards A that much longer. And now Heroic actually given the opportunity to rotate away from B. Look to hit this A site, and Na'Vi, they fully rotated, all with the exception of Electronic, who admittedly has given us some great rounds inside of this A site, but this has got to be one of them if Na'Vi want to salvage this round. It's a 4-on-4, and Electronic needs to make all the difference now into the pit, trying to stay alive, but Cadian hits it on the cross. Simple chiming in with one of his own. The bomb does get into the site, but Simple swinging wide, dealt with by Nico, left into a 2-on-2, and Heroic, they fall back now. They don't want to give any more of these fights away in the post plant. They're going to make Perfecto and Boomich work to regain this ground over towards A.
And no util to get Na'Vi back in, and they haven't even figured out these positions yet. Pit site is fairly standard with this crossfire, but Boomich jumping out of apartments. Nico hits the drop, and he swings onto him. It's only Perfecto stuck at long. Does he want the money or the round? He's going to give it a go. The time is ticking. He's got the kill. Stound hiding behind the boxes, and there's no angle for Perfecto. He's getting danced on from the pillar side, and he jumps up, but honestly, the round is already lost, and Stound just locks it in with a 4th. AWP will die to the bomb, but it's a round nonetheless for Heroic. You don't blame Na'Vi for fast rotating B there, right? Every time Heroic have had that opening kill on B, they've committed, and Na'Vi have always won those retakes on the B bomb site as well, so that's what sends Heroic away. They know that Na'Vi are going to over-rotate. They know they've had trouble closing out the post plant, and Stound finally wins one of his one-on-ones on this A site.
Right down to the wire. Perfecto tries it, but it's not enough. Last round of the half, you see Na'Vi going in with Deagles. What could go wrong?
Na'Vi with Deagle scares me because they play like they've got nothing to lose. Perfecto, aggro and apps in with the first. They do run him down, but Electronic with the spray down, MP9. And with it, he's dropped the bomb. Now, didn't retrieve any weaponry, but in a 4-on-2, right, it's far more risky for him to be giving away that kill, opening up a 3-on-2, opening up the A bomb site. And so he just plays it passive. And now Heroic, they have to retrieve the bomb. They've got to waste all this time clearing all this nonsense that they don't want to be clearing. And this entire round now balancing on a nice edge thanks to that push from Electronic and Perfecto. Ooh, the timing for Electronic. He's just crossed. Isn't peeking yet, holding for this close sight angle. Problem he's going to have is because he won't get this engagement till so late on the short push, it kind of limits how much Simple can help him out here. And that molly will force Electronic to drop that smoke. Now they know he's down in the pit. Simple smoked off at Moto. Rotation's yet to arrive from B, and that's because of Heroic throwing these fakes in at the last moment. So they deal with Simple, and Electronic just having to wait for his teammates. We're on a pretty lengthy journey still. He's in with a third. This MP9 has treated Electronic well. It's all left on to Stown in another clutch at the A site. Can he give us the goods, or is it going to be Na'Vi finding 11? It looks like it's the latter. As they win this round, Deegs and Armor, the MP9 on Electronic, and that is the secret recipe to put 11 on the board for Na'Vi. This game, it's already a great one to be keeping an eye on. The winner of this heading to the grand finals of the Pro League. You do not want to miss it. Na'Vi taking on Heroic continues in just a moment.
Your life slide away. Will you follow me under when I'm crumbling? Every night I wonder, will it ever end? Sometimes I can barely breathe, dear. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Demons always bother me. I'm leaving, but they follow me. Will you follow me under when I'm crumbling? Every night I wonder, will it ever end? Sometimes I can barely breathe, dear. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Will you follow me under? Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here.
Welcome back, everybody. It's been a pretty one-sided first half. If Na'Vi slow down, you might just catch up to Heroic. And by that, I mean Heroic have yet to start. We're going to see if they can hold fast on the CT side, but the looks that we're given thus far, not up there with the par. I've got Harry and Hugo with me. And for Hugo, it's a pretty clear-cut case of, well, I don't know. This one just seems to be floating in front of Heroic.
Yeah, it is dangled in front of their eyes, but they're not being allowed to grab it. That's a good change, a good start. Cadian with a nade onto Boomich and follows up with a shot on Simple. Gonna need one hell of a CT comeback in this map. And that's one way to start it all out. Whatever Na'Vi's plan was, out of the window already.
Canceled. As the year 2020 would have you believe is the only word app for this year. 5 alive for Heroic. They've got 4 deep over on the A site. Good luck, Flamey. See you later, dude. Nico with 2.
Yeah.
A couple taps there. Makes it look good, Harry.
Yeah, he does, and all. Perfecto. All right, let's see. What can he do? Well, now they know where the Perfecto can be found, and Tess says there's no issue finding him. So pistol round picked up for Heroic, as now they look to grind their way back into this game. Now, it is still a huge score deficit between them and Na'Vi. They've got quite the journey they're going to have to embark on to get this one back to even odds. But it's certainly not impossible.
Yeah, think about how Na'Vi went on that CT-sided streak to start, right? They lost 1 player in the first 3 rounds and really built up a big amount of money that Heroic were constantly fighting back against the entire half. Na'Vi are looking to put a stop to that before it's a problem and force in the second, as Heroic did. Not too much success, though. Will Na'Vi's be any different? Lots of SMGs for Heroic, but that has enabled all the Molotovs, all the HEs, and some kits available for retake. Na'Vi setting up on the A site for an execute here. Back to a heavy pit setup for Heroic. May the range be in their favor.
Yeah, but we've seen these pistols from Na'Vi, and we've seen what they can do. The triple nade down into the pit leaves no room for Nico. Testes might be a little unexpected from this position, and so he's in with 2, but that's all he can offer. And Perfecto, a lot of damage, even though he doesn't get away with the kill. If they can't chase him down, that might be reason enough to save. And so that's great from Perfecto, right? He does all that damage and just runs away because he knows that Heroic, look at how much they're hunting down this 1 kill. And oh, he's still here. He's still drawing them in, but he's kicking right back at them. And it's all left onto Borup. Perfecto plays that round just to a T. He does everything right and locks in a 12 for Na'Vi.
Swell stuff there from Perfecto. Or it might slide out and find Simple, but this round is done. It's over. Perfecto's actually going to put that last kill up on the board that does just that. So good stuff on him. And for Na'Vi, that is the response. They lose the pistol, they pick up the second, and away we go.
Yeah, I love how Perfecto just puts distance, right? He doesn't even go back to the site where he's leading Heroic into the Lion's Den. He's just drawing them away from it. And the longer that he can keep them in ult, fighting apartments, the more time off of that bomb they're wasting. How often do you ever see CTs saving in the second round after a pistol win? Well, they try and save, they're not allowed. Na'Vi hunt down all the kills, and that's force to force from Heroic. Quite the dire situation to be in, even with Na'Vi missing their own Molotov and cutting off their B approach. They've got all the time in the world. It's 4 on A right now. Double boost on the long side. And Na'Vi could just walk right up banana, as they wanted to do in the pistol round, but were denied by utility. There's not a lot of that for Heroic. Only smokes to stall, with a couple of grenades as well.
The Krieg's back.
Yeah, this is quite the birthday present that Simple's giving us now. I want to see if this can actually do anything.
Birthdays. Now. Ston with a smoke. He's going to be able to drop this right about now. He's already made that introduction. Hey, guys, I'm here. But also, not a whole lot of Heroic players aside from me. They're going to hunt him down as well as this bomb plant. They should get it with relative ease. Flamey dipped off into the tree and spawn. He's got a pretty crucial position and is only good for 1. Response in the form of Cadian's Deagle.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these rounds can still get out of hand. Na'Vi literally taught Heroic that just a round ago. And so they're keen to not give any more of these fights over. This boost from Simple might just save the day. Now As he's given a lineup into CT, deals with Tessez, puts the advantage back in favor of Na'Vi, and they're breathing a bit of sigh of a relief now as Simple is here, and he's cleaning up. What a gentleman. Na'Vi in with 13. And Simple, he ain't being gentle, man.
Yeah, Deeg save is the only positive Heroic get out of that round, right? A misread with the 4A. I mean, it's a gamble stack, right? That's clues in the name. You're flipping, or you're rolling a dice, you're flipping the coin. Simple, man, with the Krieg. Let's see if this keeps on into gun rounds as well, right? There won't be now. Heroic still a little bit lacking the money. So Cadian with a flash might just pop them down aggro mid or an aggressive B setup. Na'Vi have been patient in the early start of these rounds, waiting for Heroic to fight them in middle and banana. It's not going to be the case. Not yet, at least. Cadian on long. And at least a triple B for Heroic, but you really can't imagine much comes from that with only USPs.
Heroic are always boosting someone somewhere for something.
What about this one? It's like we've already accepted that you've got the site, and now we're going to try to fight you afterwards.
They're waiting, I think, for someone to try and go up onto the top, right? To check like the boost and orange new box, and it's a pretty good angle to take to just like offset anyone playing at the back of site or close on oranges. So it's like it's a neat idea, right? Because you see that Coffins is clear, and you're already anticipating, well, there could be one just hidden oranges with a pistol.
And you're caught out in the open is what ends up happening if you take that fight, right?
Yeah, right, and that's the last place you're going to be like 100% looking at if that's the route that you're trying to take into the site. The only weakness I see potentially is, well, it was that, which didn't realize could happen. I didn't realize it could just be seen as you get up onto the boost. I was more so just thinking if someone just runs into the site and clears Coffins, which happens a lot on these B plays. So, yeah, you know, the boost doesn't really show us anything too cool. Cadian keeps it clean, though, with that nice Deeg onto Simple. He is the one guy who still has armor and a pistol into this round. You know, maybe using the others, like little UAVs, he can fly them out into the open, knows now where the enemy are. Has had one slip by into CT. And I think he knows. Indeed he does, but that's not going to stop Electronic taking his head off. 14 on the board for Na'Vi. And Heroic finally coming in with a buy. But if they don't win this, then this map, hate to say it, but it's just going to slip by the wayside.
Yeah, that's a horrible way for it to go, right? You know, you win the pistol, you start believing in the comeback, and Na'Vi immediately find the force by victory. They keep their anti-ecos clean to a degree. And yeah, now all the money, hell of a lead. Glass AWP with double FAMAS in the first rifle round for Heroic. And it's the Electronic and Simple show, what we love and what we know. Cadian's flashed off mid. Simple, he don't even need the AWP. He's back to the Krieg. Scoped up in the middle.
Maybe he just prefers the Krieg.
Oh, I don't blame him at this point. Another opening kill from him. Electronics already killed the AWP, and so Na'Vi can just commit out of the apartments. Flamey's dropped. It has been heard. Tessez is stuck in between two. Who do you even want to face at this point? It's Simple down, but Tessez still hanging around with a second. Surely gets traded now, and Electronic has done that at least. Na'Vi taking some time on this A approach, and with damage done for the B flankers, even though that gives the position away, it's set Heroic up for a possible winnable round.
Perfecto, and the two retaken CTs were like running in parallel. They were actually in like the same area, just sadly missing one another with him in the apartments. It's now the retake having to come through for Borup and Stown, and their money, their lifeline on Inferno. It is all on the line. This is a must-win 2v3. The Molly gonna burn these players out of the site, but hasn't found a kill. The nade to follow up brings them both low. Electronic in with a peek, and oh my goodness, how has he done that?
See you later.
4 in the round. He just finishes the last one off with the Glock. Electronic is having an absolutely unreal game.
30 and 8.
30 and 8, 150 ADR. And then Simple just behind him, 22 and 11. They're 52 and 19 when you combine them.
Unreal. And then just the Glock. Peace.
And that's so sad for Heroic, who had all this utility, nades, mollies, but they don't know Electronic's there. They use it in the pit, they use it in the site, and then Electronic peaks after all of those grenades are gone. Simple does get tagged down middle. He's onto the AUG now. Forget the Krieg. He's grabbing CT rifles on his way out, but very low and finished off by the Scout. Electronic will trade, of course he will. Keeping up dominant score. Borup is tucked, needs a flash, needs support, but it actually doesn't blind anyone, at least not Boomich. Perfecto backs up and Boomich re-aggresses with 2. He was not whitened by the utility, and now B belongs to Na'Vi and maybe the map as well.
Starting to feel more and more like the map, especially considering how sick the armament is over here. Cadian's going to try to take the Scout and the shotgun all the way to the B site. And so far, so good. Won't matter, though, when you're retaking solo.
And this is just utter domination, right, from Na'Vi. Cadian, yeah, he's gone back for the shotgun.
Quite cool.
I think he knows that they're screwed as well, right? Like, looking at the ground, running in with the auto shotty, here he is.
Now this would be a clutch for the agent.
Yeah, it would, but it ain't gonna happen, is it, right? Na'Vi, don't even let him get